Welcome to True Crime Shadows, where the blackest corners of the human soul bleed into the light with whispers that claw at your spine. Tonight, we slip into the rain-soaked streets of Seattle, 1974. The city slumbers under a veil of fog, oblivious to a predator stalking its shadows, a phantom with a smile that disarms and a mind sharp as a blade. Ted Bundy. His reign of terror begins here, but as bodies pile up in the mist, a question lingers. Was he truly the killer or merely a pawn in a darker game? Seattle, winter 1974. Rain hammers the asphalt like a mournful drum, pooling in the cracks of the city's grey streets. The air is thick with the scent of wet pavement and pine. In the dimly lit apartments near the University of Washington, young women dream of futures that will never come. Lynda Ann Healy, a 21-year-old student with long black hair and eyes full of promise, vanishes on February 1st. The police push open her creaking door to find an empty bed, sheets tangled like a scream frozen in time. A half-drunk glass of milk sits on the nightstand, and a window yawns open, letting in the cold breath of the night. No signs of struggle, no footprints, just the faint stench of fear clinging to the walls. Ted Bundy, a 27-year-old law student, moves through Seattle like a ghost. His chiseled face, neatly combed hair, and piercing blue eyes make him look like he stepped out of a Hollywood romance. Charismatic, articulate, a charmer who could talk his way into any heart. But behind the mask, a monster breathes, its hunger growing with every passing night. Summer, 1974, Lake Sammamish. The sun glints off the water, laughter echoes, and the smell of barbecued meat drifts through the air. Families sprawl under towering pines, unaware of the predator in their midst. Bundy appears, his arm in a fake sling, his face a portrait of desperation. "Can you help me unload a sailboat from my car? I hurt my arm," he pleads. Janice Ann Ott, 23, with flowing black hair and a warm smile, nods and follows him. Hours later, Denise Naslund, 19, with dark eyes and a carefree laugh, falls for the same ruse. Neither returns. Their families wait by silent phones, hope fading like the sun over the lake. Witnesses describe a handsome man named Ted, driving a bronze Volkswagen Beetle. His victims share an eerie resemblance. Long black hair, parted in the middle. Bundy's tactics are surgical, feigning injury, posing as a cop, or flashing that disarming smile. He lures them to secluded spots, strikes with an iron crowbar, and leaves their broken bodies in the wilderness. Bundy's shadow stretches beyond Seattle, creeping into Utah, Colorado, and Idaho. The killings multiply like a virus. October 1974, Melissa Smith, 17, with chestnut hair and a shy grin, disappears from Midvale, Utah. Days later, Laura and Amy, also 17, vanishes nearby. Their bodies are found in dense forests, bound with rope, strangled and defiled. The earth around them is cold, the air heavy with decay. August 1975, a Utah highway patrolman pulls Bundy over for suspicious driving. Inside his Beetle, handcuffs, rope, duct tape, and a black ski mask. Carol DeRonch, a woman who narrowly escaped him months earlier, points him out in a lineup, her voice trembling. "That's him. I'll never forget those eyes." But Bundy, cool as ice, smirks and says, "You've got the wrong guy." June to 1977, Aspen, Colorado. Bundy, on trial for murder, is allowed to work as his own attorney in the courthouse library. Unshackled, he paces near a second-floor window. The sun spills through, and a breeze carries the scent of pine. Without a glance back, he vaults through the window, landing hard on the pavement below. Pain shoots through his legs, but he bolts toward the mountains. Police swarm the area, dogs howl, and helicopters buzz overhead. For 6 days, Bundy melts into the wilderness, a phantom in the pines. Starving and ragged, he's caught in Aspen, but his escape plants a seed of dread. He's untouchable. December 1977, Garfield County Jail. Christmas lights twinkle outside, but inside Bundy is carving his freedom, using a smuggled hacksaw. God knows how he got it. He saws through his cell's ceiling. On a frigid night, while guards are distracted with holiday cheer, he crawls through the hole, drops into an empty apartment, and vanishes into the snow. He resurfaces in Florida, reborn as Chris Hagen, renting a dingy apartment in Tallahassee. January 15th, 1978, he slips into the Chi Omega sorority house at Florida State University. In a frenzy, he bludgeons Margaret Bowman and Lisa Levy to death with a wooden club, leaving 2 others gravely injured. Blood stains the walls, and the air reeks of violence. Weeks later, he abducts 12-year-old Kimberly Leach from her school. Her body later found in an abandoned shed, discarded like a broken toy. February 1978, Pensacola. A stolen car chase ends with Bundy's arrest. He fights like a cornered animal, snarling, "I wish you'd killed me." Police find a chilling clue. Bite marks on Lisa Levy's body match Bundy's crooked teeth, a damning signature. His 1979 trial, the first to be televised in America, becomes a media circus. Bundy, in a crisp suit, plays the lawyer with unnerving confidence, cross-examining witnesses with a sly grin. But the evidence, bite marks, witness accounts, and his car's grim contents builds an unbreakable case. He's convicted of the Chi Omega murders and Kimberly Leach's killing, sentenced to death twice. In the courtroom, he stares at the judge and whispers, "You'll never understand me." January 1989, days before his execution. In a grey, airless room, Bundy sits across from detectives, his eyes hollow. He confesses to 30 murders, describing each with a cold, mechanical precision. He speaks of killings from his teens, possibly Anne Marie Burr, an 8-year-old who vanished in 1961 when Bundy was just 14. "I'm the most cold-hearted son of a bitch you'll ever meet," he says, a faint smirk curling his lips. Experts suspect his body count could reach 100, but the true number is buried in the shadows. January 24, 1989, Florida State Prison. At 7 a.m., Bundy is strapped to the electric chair. At 7:16, the switch is flipped, and his body jerks under the current. Outside, a crowd cheers, waving signs that read, "Burn, Bundy, burn." A local DJ plays the sound of sizzling bacon. But Bundy's shadow lingers, a stain that won't wash away. But is that the end? Some say the bite marks weren't a perfect match. The witnesses coerced under pressure. Whispers in true crime circles speak of a mysterious accomplice. A man in a leather coat spotted near the Chi Omega house the night of the murders. Was Bundy the mastermind, or a scapegoat caught in a larger, darker plot? A cryptic note found in his cell read, "The truth is still out there." Did he act alone, or does his shadow hide another killer, still free, still watching? These questions haunt the night, unanswered, like footsteps fading in the fog.